Hello, my name is Gabe Zollner. Good morning again. You know, this Obamacare is just full of interesting tidbits. And you know what's amazing is that when it was supposedly signed into law and agreed upon by the senators, there couldn't have been one senator that read it. And the reason that is that an actual survey was taken, and it takes a certain amount of time to read a page by the average person. And there wasn't sufficient time allocated before it had to be signed off for anyone to have read half of the pages, let alone all the pages. And what's happening now is that even a number of the senators that signed off in favor of Obamacare are now being pressured by various groups. And they're being pressured specifically by one organization which deals with medical devices. They obviously have a very, very strong lobby behind them, because now we've got a number of senators, John Kerry being one of them, and you know, John Kerry is probably going to be the next Secretary of State, because he's got such a wonderful background of loyalty to this country, as we all found out when he was running for president, thanks to the Swift Boat organization. Anyway, there's another senator as well that should never have been a senator, and that's Franklin. And the reason he should never have been a senator is because he really lost. And the only reason that he was granted becoming a senator was because a judge had ruled that, until they found out that about 500 felons voted for him. But that's a whole different story. And they only won by 350 votes, so he really lost by 150 votes. But that, again, is a different story. And what's interesting is that the Obamacare has, I believe, a 2.3% tax on medical devices. And since a lot of pressure is being put on a lot of the Democratic senators, they're trying to prevent that from happening, because there's a lot of medical device companies in their respective districts. So once again, they know how to sort of grease themselves and look after themselves the best that they can. What happened was a reporter had asked Obama as to whether or not he'd be willing, as the letters that were sent by, I think, 17 of the Democratic senators, asking to either eliminate that portion in the Obamacare or to delay it. And Obama's response was a little bit shocking to me from what I saw in the video, because it was like immediate. And it was simply no. And then he went on to say that the medical device companies will soon have 30 million new customers. And that'll be great for business. And he says they're doing really well right now as well. The reality is, Obama's response shows how clearly out of touch he is with any kind of sanity or reality. And the reason that is medical devices aren't something you pick up at a grocery store, in most cases. I'm sure there are some that can be picked up at a grocery store. But I'd say the majority of medical devices are implanted surgically by doctors and their highly trained staffs. Now, where does Obama think that they're going to find sufficient doctors and highly trained staff to implant all these medical devices, so the medical device industry will be doing exceptionally well in the future and not having to be concerned with an additional 2.3% tax? This is just another clear example of how totally clueless he is. But what else would you expect from someone that all he studied, if he studied at all, at Harvard and Occidental, was law? And the law that he studied was constitutional law. And the reason that he studied constitutional law wasn't because he was so enamored with the Constitution. No. A mechanic knows how to take apart a car, and he knows how to put together a car, because he studied how to put together a car. Obama studied constitutional law, so he knows how to take it apart. And that's exactly what he's doing. Wake up, folks.